Welcome to another video from DIY Daily. Just put a full step-by-step guide together, just showing you how to replace the fuel pump on this 2016 Ford Transit Custom. This one's the 2.2 diesel engine. I'll just show you the fuel pump on this one's just located down here. It's driven off the end of the camshaft, and the issue that we've got with this one, you can just see it's all damp at the minute, but it's actually been leaking from the pump itself. So we've got a new pump ready, and if you check the links in the description below, I'll put a link to a new pump where you can get them from, the part numbers. I'll put links to all the tools that we're using as well. But you can just see you've got the main drive there, which is driven off the end of the camshaft. We've basically got a fitting for the high pressure pipe there. Got another couple of fittings for some fuel pipes there. Got a connector there and another connector there on the fuel temp sensor. So it's quite straightforward to replace. We'll run you through everything a step at a time. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, just click on the red subscribe button below to make sure you don't miss out on any future content. Now just to get started, just to give us a bit of room, I'm going to take the airbox out of the way. Really straightforward and easy to get out of the way on these, and it just gives you a nice bit of room to work around everything. But to get it off, just going to simply use your flat bladed screwdriver or your 7mm socket to undo the hose clip there. We'll get that pipe out of the way, disconnect the airflow meter there, simply pull the red tab back, and you can just pinch it up and pull that off. Just a little connector to remove there. Then once you've got it disconnected, you can just simply pop it up on these rubbers there. You will just need to just pop this pipe out there, and then we can just pull it up and out of the way and get the airbox completely out of the way there. This pipe, we might undo it at the back, but I should say once it's undone, probably just be able to tuck it to the back there, and that'll be out of the way enough. So we'll just get that out of the way now, and then we'll move you on to the next step after that. Right, so now that we've got the airbox out of the way, you can see we've got loads of room. See the fuel pump quite clearly. The first thing we're going to do is just disconnect these two pipes. Basically just this one there. Just try to get my hand on it. You can just see we've got a little green tab there. Same on the other side. And basically you just need to pinch them in together at the same time. Then you'll be able to pull that up. And the same again with this connector there. Just pinch the two tabs in there. Then we'll be able to pull that up and out of the way. Once we've got the two fuel pipes off, we're then just going to use a 17mm spanner just to undo the fuel pressure pipe and just get that loose. And we'll just do that first, and then I'll just show you the connectors and the wiring after that. Right, so that's the two fuel pipes off there. Just took them out of the way and just undone the high pressure hose there. But I just needed to use two spanners, basically just undoing the 17mm, started turning the bottom one. So just used a 13mm spanner just to hold the bottom while cracking the top one off. And once you've undone the nut, you can then generally just spin it off by hand. So now that they're out of the way, we've just got the two connectors to get off. And just see we've got the one for the fuel temperature sensor. That's just a simple connector on there. And the same again on the other one as well. You can just see we've got another connector just there as well. So we'll just undo both the connectors now and just sort of unclip the wiring harness and just see, just unclips from the pump there, and we'll be able to pull some of the wiring out of the way, ready to get the pump off and swap it over. Right, now that's the wiring harness completely out of the way. I did just disconnect. I'll just show you quickly just how these connectors come off. Basically, just on the underside of them, all you need to do is just simply flick that tab outwards. Same again with the temp sensor one. Exactly the same sort of style connector. You can just flick in just with a clip or just with your finger and just pull that sort of backwards. I did just disconnect this temperature sensor off the water housing as well, just so I can just pull this wiring all out of the way, that's all. But now that that's out of the way, again, if you wanted to, you could just disconnect this fuel line there. You just simply got to pull the little blue tab back there, and you pop that off, but it's not really in the way. So, but we've now got 3 10mm bolts that we need to undo just to get the pump off. So they're not actually bad to access. This one's obviously really easy and clear. There's another one that's underneath that's quite nice and easy as well. The trickiest one, but it's not really tricky at all. But I'll just show you quickly. I've just got the socket on it with an extension at the minute. It's just a little bit tight with this water hose. You can see that's in place and actually on the bolt at the minute. And just simply using a 10mm with the right size extension that just brings it just past the back so you can get on it, that's all. So we'll just undo all them 3 bolts now and just pull the fuel pump out and get ready to swap it over. So now that all the bolts are undone, I'll just show you quickly before I get it fully out, but they are a little bit tight. They get a bit tight in the rubber seal. You can just see I've got a bit of a split on there at the minute, but you just sort of just keep working it round just as you're sort of pulling it back at the same time. It just takes a little bit. They do get a little bit tight, but they're not too bad to get out. Well, that's the pump out, so a little bit tight, but you've just got to just keep working it as you're pulling it at the same time, and you will get it out. They're not too bad to get out. What we're going to do now is just give it a quick wipe round, just with a rag on the inside. Then we're going to get the new one ready just to slot in the same position. Obviously, all we've got to look to do is just line the main drive up with the cut out on the end of the camshaft. That's all. So, but you'll feel it as you're putting it in. It's not too bad to do. And generally, if you just sit your old pump next to your new pump and just sort of turn the drive into the same position, you should obviously be there or thereabouts. That's all. So new one ready to go in. Right, so at the minute I've just got the pump into place. I've taken a little bit of fettling just to get it sort of lined up right, that's all. And all I've done now is just put the bolts in, just finger tight, and then just run them up, just gently. You can see I just haven't quite closed the gap yet. And just forgot to say earlier on as well, just put a little bit of old oil or just a bit of WD-40 or just a bit of lubricant around the seal just so it glides in nicely, that's all. But all I'm going to do just to get it in is just nice and evenly, just with the ratchet by hand, just keep working around all 3 bolts just to pull it in nice and evenly, just so it makes sure that, just to make sure that the seal goes in nicely, that's all. And once we've got that nipped up, if I find that I ain't got the torque setting, but if I do find out, I'll just overlay it over the top of the video what it is as well. But they don't need to be silly tight, these bolts, just a bit of a nip, that's all. Once we've got that nipped up, we'll get all the fuel pipe fittings on, the connectors back on, and I'll just run you through just bleeding the fuel system quickly as well. Right, so the new fuel pump's all fitted and nipped up now. All the fuel pipes are back on. Now just to nip the high pressure one up, I did just use again the 14mm spanner just while nipping the 17 up, just that I didn't over tighten the bottom bit, just didn't grab that and over tighten the bottom bit into the pump, that's all. But yeah, the connectors are back on, the electrical connectors are back on. Just clip that little harness clip back into place. The next thing we're ready to do now is just bleed the fuel system. Now I'm going to do this at the minute with the airbox out of the way. It's just, if you haven't got a diagnostic machine, we're going to need to flick the ignition on to do it, and because the airflow meter is disconnected, it's probably going to log a fault code. But because the fuel system's going to have been breached or we bleed it up, it might log a fuel pressure code. So it's always nice just to, once you've done the job, just have a quick code scan and clear all the codes anyway. But I'll just run you through quickly how to do it. Basically on this valve there, just see if we just take that off, basically like a little Schrader valve, and just on the end of the cap there, you can just use the nipple on the end of the cap, and all we're going to be doing is just with the ignition on, just simply press on that. There's enough of depth there just to push it in with the ignition on, because it's got an in-tank fuel pump, so it'll have pressure up to this point, and that'll basically release that and just push any air out the system, that's all. So we'll just do that quickly now. You can just see once the air's gone, it stops looking frothy and just neat diesel there. As soon as you're at that point, then you can just put your cap back on. You do only need a really light nip, these. Don't need to be too tight at all. But now that we've nipped that up, obviously this fuel pump was leaking anyway, so there's quite a bit of diesel around. That makes a little bit of a mess as well. So we're just going to give everything a really good clean up now with a bit of brake cleaner. Just wash everything down, blow it all off. With any sort of fuel leak like that, you really ought to be washing it off well anyway. It's just when we run it up, it's nice and easy to check and make sure that nothing's leaking as well. So yeah, we'll just give that a quick swirl down now. Right, so that's all washed down now. Just going to quickly put the airbox back together, just plug the airflow meter back in, then we'll get ready to strike it up and just come around and have a good look and make sure it's not got any leaks. If we're happy it's not got any leaks, once we've done that, we'll just get in the car, just plug the diagnostic machine in, just give it a quick code scan, clear all the fault codes, then we'll run you on to the next step after that. Right, so that's everything back together now. What I'm going to do is just get in the van, just strike it up quick. Now it might start a little bit lumpy, obviously we've introduced a little bit of air in the system, but we'll just give it a fire up now and just see how it runs. I'm just going to come around, just have a good look at it, just make sure that there's no leaks or anything like that. And I'll just turn it off, put the ignition back on, we'll do a scan. And I'm just going to look through on the diagnostic machine, just see if there's any procedures as well, just to say that it's had a new fuel pump fitted. So, but yeah, just for now, we'll start it up, just make sure it's running okay. See, that struck up really well. It's running a little bit lumpy at the minute. It might do just till it gets all the air out of the system if there's a little bit left in there. So just going to give it a few revs, just run it for a couple of seconds more or so, and then we'll turn it off, put the ignition back on. Right, so we'll now just give it a full scan. I'm still using the top-down Phoenix Light 2 today. Not scanned this one for a while, so there might be a few faults in it relating to other issues. Right, as you can see, we've got a few fault codes. Let's just have a quick look what they are. So this could be old codes, it's not been plugged in for a while. So the main ones we'll be looking at, expecting to see issues, is in the engine ECU, which you can just see there. We've got a glow plug cylinder 3 issue, so it's probably going to want a glow plug. Intake air temp sensor fault as well, and we've just got another issue in there as well. So but yeah, we're just going to clear all the faults now. I'm just going to look through the functions, just see if there's an option to do to sort of any programming to tell it's had a pump or anything like that. See, everything's cleared out. If we just have a look, you can see we've got reset the high pressure fuel system, learn values. We'll probably just do that. And doesn't seem to be anything else on there for relating to replacing the fuel pump. So at that now, all we're going to do is just give it a decent road test. I'll probably just give it a road test for 5-6 mile, then we'll come back, obviously just have a look again, just make sure there's no leaks, and then we'll just do another quick scan and just make sure there's no fault codes in it. So just go do that quick now and just update you once we're back. Right, so just got back from road test. It's run absolutely spot on, not missed a beat. It's now idling nice and smoothly. I've done about 4 mile in it. I've just got back, just popped the bonnet open just to have a quick look around the pump. It's bone dry, so I'm happy there's no leaks around there. And we've just done another full scan, and you can just see we've got one fault code come back, which is in the engine ECU, which is relating to the glow plug open circuit there. So it will want a glow plug on it. Now on these, I have done a video on the glow plugs if you want to check it out. I'll put a link in the description below to the video and where you can just access it quickly. But the glow plugs are underneath the inlet manifold. You need to take the inlet manifold off to replace them. It's not too bad to do, but I've done a full video on it. But because you have to do that, really, it's always worth replacing all 4 at the same time. So yeah, if you want to check that out, just have a look in the description. But yeah, hopefully this helps someone in the same situation wanting to have a go at their fuel pump. Just a quick run through, you can see it's not too bad to do. But yeah, hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.